How we doing, folks? Welcome back to the channel. And today on the lathe we have a 21-inch blank. It's 3 inches deep at its thickest and about 2 1/4 at its thinnest. And I've already flattened it out, so as it is at the lathe at the moment, it's about 2 1/4 inches thick, spinning at 800 RPM. So we're going to be making a platter, and you can already see my lovely tool rest is too far away from the blank. I built that tool rest for bowls really, and then when I extended the frame of the lathe, I didn't take into account that I would be doing platters. So I'm going to have to make another tool rest with a 2-inch extension, so I can get a bit closer to the platter. Needless to say, the turning was a bit of a nightmare because of that. So don't take any hints or tips from this video because the turning's a little bit sketchy. But we got it done. The lathe didn't skip a beat on this one. Biggest thing I've ever put on it, and it was absolutely solid as a rock, no movement at all. So I didn't really have a design in mind for this, other than the fact I was going to put a foot on it and make it appear to be floating. But with regard to the final shape, I didn't really know what I was going to do, so we're just playing it by ear. So I've put my foot on, and I'm just flattening out the centre, getting ready to put the mortise in. So the way I make my floating platters is I want a rim which is probably 5 or 6 mil higher than the foot, and then you have a concave on the inside between the rim and the foot which casts a shadow. So it doesn't matter what angle you look at the platter for when it's on a table, it looks like it's floating. So I've just filled a few cracks with sawdust and CA glue, and I'm using my round nose scraper to take off the excess. And I will say that tool rest is still vibrating, so I'm going to have to weld some more support bars onto it or something. A little bit annoying. So I couldn't really do much in the way of finishing cuts on this one, due to the overhang on the tool rest and the vibration. So I basically finished it with a 40 grit 5-inch sanding pad, and then sanded all the way up to 600 grit. Just marking out for the mortise. I've made a decision as well. I'm going to, all my new projects, I'm going to be finishing the mortise by filling the void with probably black epoxy and leaving it level with the bowl so you get a flat finish with a ring, and I'm going to be signing on the inside of the mortise ring. Should be a better finish than what I've been doing. So you can see I've put my sanding paste on and the shine juice. So this is the part of the show where we get to showcase some of your fantastic work. And today on the show we have this amazing Mangrove bowl that's been sent in by Tim Mills. I can imagine that took some finishing with all them holes in it, clearing dust out of holes and everything. But it's a pretty amazing looking finished piece. So cheers for sending that in, Tim. And if you want to be featured on the show, you can send your images to willmakeseverything@gmail.com. And we're straight on to the hollowing, if you can call it hollowing, on a platter. So I changed my mind about what I was going to do with the outer edge of this about 3 times. But at the moment I'm just flattening out the front face. I didn't want to do a standard platter with just a flat face because I've done one of those about this size already. So I wanted to keep it interesting and do something a bit more interesting. So I decided I was going to do a bowl in a bowl. So what I'm doing at the minute is just isolating that inner bowl and turning that to final depth. I think at its thickest point, the platter is about 1 3/4 inches thick. Not the easiest of places to get into, that wasn't. Lots and lots of overhang, nasty horrible turning, and I was having to shear cut it. So this is design modification to the rim number 2. And I thought I'd chance it and go a little bit deeper on that centre bowl. And we've got design modification number 3 to the rim now. You can hear the vibration in the tool rest there. So I'd gone for a stepped rim at this point. By the time I finished sanding it, it was not stepped anymore, so just a nice curved rim. And we're on to the 6000 volt Lichtenberg machine. So I thought I'd bring the lightning on this one. I should say, do not attempt to build one of these machines yourself. They're extremely dangerous and will kill you. So my method of post-Lichtenberg is sanding from 180 grit up to 600. Get rid of as much dust as possible. Then we take the electric toothbrush and some vegetable oil and dig out all the charring in all of the burns. Then we soak off the excess oil. And then it was time to finish the rest of the bowl. Up to 600 grit. That 5-inch pad really does make light work of this kind of work. And then the standard sanding paste and shine juice finish. And obviously I didn't put any sanding paste on the burned areas because all it does is get pushed straight into the burns and you can't get it out. I think some of you are going to like that effect and some of you are not, but it's too late for that now, it's all done. Some lovely figure in the centre. So, as ever, I will leave you with the glamour shots of the floating lightning platter. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, then consider subscribing, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Cheers.